we interviewed Jerry Loeb. He fought in Vietnam, restored democracy, and Afghanistan wars. He started his life on May 12, 1946. At the age of 8, his life changed forever. He lost his father, Arthur Loeb. Then, as if that wasn't hard enough, he lost his mother, Stella Loeb, at the age of 16. So when he was 18 years old, he made the choice to join the military.
And what were your reasons for joining the military?
Well, at the time, I was working in a body shop and knew that wasn't going to be my career, so I didn't know what else I wanted to do. So
We asked Mr. Loeb to
service.
explain basic training in one word. He said that word would be hard. I would have to get up at 4 in the morning and keep going until the evening hours, and it was all physical, said Mr. Loeb. Since he was in the Air Force, he would learn about Air Force things, such as weapons and things of that matter. When he was in the Air Service, his jobs included crew chief on the C-130 aircraft, working on this C-130 aircraft, vehicle maintenance for Red Horse. For these jobs, he basically had to fly with the aircraft when they flew, resupply the troops with ammo or any other cargo that they needed at the time, and he flew into all the other air bases, landed on dirt roads or anything, so the Marines or Special Forces could have what they needed.
Did you have to take any special classes or get any special licenses to do the airplane and anything with the airplanes and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. I went to tech school in the Air Force for aircrafts to learn all the systems on an aircraft. When you learn the system, a crew chief has to know all the systems, because when you're in the middle of nowhere, and like in the battle in Vietnam, you're in the middle of nowhere, you got to be able to fix the aircraft to get it out of there. And the one thing about being the crew chief on the aircraft, you had a flight crew. They only flew so long, and when you landed, they got off the aircraft, and maybe a new flight crew came on, but the crew chief stayed with the aircraft all the time. So there's a lot of times I slept on the aircraft for a couple of days or nights in different small bases, and then a new flight crew came in, you take off again. So the crew chief, when you got to home station, it wasn't too bad, but when you were out on flying the missions, it was pretty rough on the crew chief. And the Air Force, well, the 314th Tactical Flying Wing said the crew chief has to fly to there. One of either your crew chief or the assistant crew chief has to be on the aircraft at all times. So that was.
And he did these
rough.
jobs to the best of his ability for 35 years. During these 35 years, he did receive some medals.
Did you receive any medals or things of that sort, and can you please tell us about a few of them if you did?
Yeah, we got Meritorious Service Medal, and I got the Achievement Medal, Air Force Achievement Medal, Air Force Meritorious Service, and what you do is Meritorious Service is for your length of duty and what you do good for the Air Force, and Achievement Medal the same way. If you did something I got picked up $4 million worth of equipment from overseas in England and brought it back to the States for our units, and that got me the
His
Achievement
highest
Medal.
rank was E9 Chief Master Sergeant. That's the highest rank one will be able to receive. Only 1% of all Air Force people make chief. Mr. Loeb also said that he made many great friends while in the service.
Did you contact any of the friends you made while at war when you got home?
Yeah, I'm still best friends with guys from Jacksonville, Florida. So we keep in touch with each other, and a couple other ones that.
Even though he was never injured, Mr. Loeb did face many problems. He said that the hardest thing wasn't fighting or basic training, but coming home.
What was it like coming home?
Well, there again, it was different. There's two different wars. Vietnam, we came home and people wanted to spit on us, and call us baby killers. Okay. Afghanistan was different. We came on heroes then.
But it wasn't all bad times. Mr. Loeb had some good experiences too. He said that the best experience was traveling. He got to see about every country in the world over his 35 years, and he got to meet a lot of nice people. For Red Horse, which stands for Rapid Engineer Deployable Heavy Operational Repair Squadron Engine, he got to build air bases all over so the troops could land. When he was over there, he got to build bases in about 7 or 8 countries. They also did a lot of humanitarian building. They went to Honduras and they built a road from the interior to the port so the Hondurans could get their fruit and so they could sell it. They also went to Peru and a lot of Central America and did a lot of humanitarian work down there. Red Horse also went to their towns where they had no fresh water and they drilled wells for the poor people. He said that the best part of the humanitarian work was getting to see the appreciation on someone's face when they drilled a new well in the town and they had fresh water to drink. Also, while in Haiti, they helped to build a school. They would also fly unarmed into enemy territory to drop off goods or to drop paratroopers wherever they needed to be dropped off there. The worst part of this job was not being able to shower for weeks at a time, said Jerry. They also only ate canned goods. The only time they got a decent meal was when they got to the Philippines. Obviously, Mr. Loeb wasn't the only person affected by his choice to join the service, but he said that his wife handled it very well and was able to hold down the house just fine.
And did anything change drastically while you were away at Vietnam?
Not really. The biggest thing in Vietnam was the protests. And when you leave, I was there for 13 months, and when you come back, it's a year of your life you missed. Because you come back, when I came back, you hear a song on the radio, and you say, oh, that's a nice song, a new song, and it's an old song, because you didn't ever hear them.
And did anything change drastically while you were away in Afghanistan?
Yeah, my house. My wife kept changing things in the house. She painted the rooms and put a new floor in the kitchen and dining area, and so that's about all it changed.
When Mr. Loeb was in Vietnam, it was hard to stay in touch with his family from home. He said that he was lucky if he got letters. But through progression, when he was in Afghanistan, he could send emails to home, and he was able to call home twice a week because they had their own satellite television system. Even though Mr. Loeb isn't currently in the Air Force, he still keeps up with it.
Do you do anything now that involves the Air Force or keeping up with the present-day wars?
Well, right now I was in Red Horse for 30 years, so we have a Red Horse Association, a retired association that I'm in, and we get together every couple of months and have breakfast, and then we have a picnic over the summer. And we all get all the retirees that we were with for all them years. Like I say, the one thing I have to tell you, and I thought it was comical, was we flew out of Cam Ranh Bay in Vietnam, and every Sunday night they show us a movie. Well, there was an outdoor screen, and everybody sat in the ground to watch, but you never guessed the 2 movies were combat that was on TV at the time, and Gunsmoke. Those are the 2 we saw every week. So I mean, we're sitting there watching combat, and right behind us, we had a pontoon bridge across the bay, and right behind us, you could hear the machine gun fire and watch the tracers go back and forth while our guys are firing at the Viet Cong, and they're firing back at us, and we're sitting there watching combat on TV, on a screen. So that was kind of comical, I thought. I got to fly a lot. We used to fly up to Bangkok, and then we fly out of Bangkok, Thailand, and we'd go through Thailand through different bases, and then we'd reload up there and come back with troops. But we were always distributing goods all throughout the Southeast Asia over there. And another thing, if you've never been there, when you go there, you lose a day. In other words, if you leave on a Monday, you lose. It's Tuesday when you get there. It's Wednesday, you lose a day. When you come back, you gain a day, so you actually get back to the States before you left Vietnam. It's kind of weird when you get there. Other than that, I had a lot of great friends. You meet a lot of people throughout your career in the military. That's about it for me. Mm-hmm.